1, we receive a formal complaint regarding Block C electrical installation. Before we proceed with corrective actions, let's clearly describe what the complaint involved. Miss Adeline, could you start?
Sure, Miss Stephanie. During my inspection yesterday, I found several issues. The main feeders installed are 115mm square copper cable, but the design specifies 240mm square to handle 400 amp load safely. This undersizing could lead to overheating, insulation failure, and even fire risk when the load is at full capacity.
That's serious. I also ran an earth resistance test and got a reading of 12 ohms, which is well above the 5 ohm safety limit. High resistance like that means a fault current might not trip the breaker quickly, putting anyone in contact with exposed metal part at risk of electric shock.
So from the contractor side, I checked the grounding connection. Some of the ground roots was not properly clamped. That could explain the high resistance reading. So we will need to reinstall and rebond them correctly to bring the reading back within safe limits. Good observation. I also inspected panel B and noticed heavy dust, loose terminal screw, and slight heat marks on one bus bar. The last recorded maintenance was 8 months ago. Even though our standard requires check every 3 months. This shows preventive maintenance has not been properly followed.
So to summarize, the complaint involved 3 main issues. First, undersized feeders. Second, poor grounding and lack of maintenance on the electrical panels.
Exactly, and all 3 are safety related. The complaint has been optionally logged under the category electrical non-compliance high risk.
Understood. My team will fully cooperate to investigate and correct the problems. But I'd like an official complaint code for documentation and tracking. Absolutely. We will attach inspection of photos, test readings, and adherence report to complaint form. This way, everything is clear and traceable.
And I will update the safety management system with today's findings so the issue is properly monitored until it resolved.
Perfect. Let's cover the all description of the complaint.
Now that we understand the problem, let's go over the complaint procedure to ensure we handle this case correctly. Miss Aida, can you start?
Of course, the process has 5 steps. Step 1, the person who discovered the issue, in this case, Miss Adeline, must prepare a written report with photos, test results, and clear description of its faults. This keeps the complaint transparent and accurate.
Right. Once my report is complete, I will attach the inspection photos and readings. I will also make sure it follows the safety management system template for consistency before submissions.
Good. Then we move to step 2. Where Miss Aida submit the report to the project manager and copies the head of electrical services within 24 hours. That ensure both site management and head office are aware to the issue promptly.
Exactly. After that comes step 3, the contractor, Ms. Aisha, received a notice of non-compliance which outlined the issues and give 5 working days to submit a corrective action plan describing how and when the fault will be fixed.
Yes, I'm familiar with that step. I will prepare the details, including manpower, materials, timeline, and safety precaution, so it will meet both the project and safety requirements.
Then we move to the step 4, which is the joint inspection. Once Miss Aisha's team completes the corrective work. Miss Aida and I will inspect retest the system to confirm it meets all code and standard.
And finally, step 5 is the closure of the complaint. After the inspection confirm compliance, I will prepare the closure report and the project manager will officially sign off as result.
So that sounds clear and fair. Each step involves proper verification and documentation, which ensure accountability.
Exactly. So to summarize, Ms. Adeline prepared the report, Ms. Aida submits and oversees safety, Ms. Aisha prepares and executes the corrective plan, and I handle the documentation and final approval. Following the process ensures a fast and compliant resolution. Alright everyone, we covered the issues and the procedure. Now let's focus on proper solution to fix the problem effectively. Miss Aida, would you start?
Sure, Ms. Stephanie. From a safety standpoint, our first priority is grounding system. We need to add extra ground rods, bond join properly with copper tape and retest to make sure the resistance is below 5. Ideally closer to 2 for maximum protection.
Agree. For undersized feeders, the only safe fix is to replace the existing 115mm square cables with 240mm square copper conductor as per the design. The work should be done during a weekend shutdown to avoid disrupting operations with temporary generators supporting essential loads.
So from the contractor side, I can arrange the material procurement immediately. If everything have in stock, so we can mobilize within a week. I will make sure we use IEC compliant copper cables and perform thermals and load tests after installation verification.
Good plan. I will coordinate with building management to inform all departments about the scheduled shutdown, and we will prepare backup lighting and ventilation during the replacement. Clear communication prevents confusion and downtime.
That's efficient. I will also limit electrical load to 70% during the replacement and enforce the use to ARC rated PPE to protect all workers.
As for the grounding maintenance, we should implement a 6 monthly earth resistant testing schedules and record it in a digital maintenance log that keep everything trackable and ensure continuous monitoring.
I will prepare a list of required materials like ground roads, maybe, and then another things. A copper tape and assign a team that complete the work. Afterwards, we will retest together to confirm compliance.
Excellent. For the air electrical panels, we should clean, refurbish, tighten connection, and install thermal sensor to monitor heat build-up. I will assign staff to do monthly visual checks to detect early faults.
Good idea. I will include preventive maintenance in our safety log and make sure all records are reviewed during our weekly safety meeting.
Let's cover everything. Upgrading fillers, improving grounding and panels, and maintaining proper testing schedules.
So I will send a detailed cost estimate and timeline within 3 days. So work can start immediately after approval.
Perfect. So to summarize, we will replace the feeders with 240 mm² copper and add a bond ground rod, retest to below 5 ohms, clean and maintenance panel, introduce a 6-month testing schedule with a digital log, and enforce load limits, PPE, and inspection until final approval. Okay, great teamwork everyone. Let's make this fuel plan is carried out safely and efficiently. Thank you everyone.